What's going on, guys? Bassin' It Up Mava here, coming at you with a new video for this week. And in this one, I'm going to kind of break down a little bit for you how we figure out the fish on this early spring period and as they're staging into the spawn. But I'm going to kind of break everything down a little bit, how and why I did what I did in certain situations to try and figure these fish out. And not to mention, I'm also going to go over a little bit of what I do on a daily basis when I go out, just so that I can try to help figure the fish out. And I'm going to do all this so hopefully it helps you out on next time that you're on the water. So if you don't know these things, then you can start piecing these things together. It's kind of like a puzzle. You want to piece these things together and figure out the fish to catch more each time that you're out, or even a bigger one. But with all that being said, let's get in this video. Here we go.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
So first, I start off fishing some really shallow cover, like woods and tree and laydowns. And this time of year, early spring, I'll typically start out fishing shallower, since the fish start moving up to spawn with rising water temperatures. And here I'm fishing a small Zoom Z drop on a tungsten wide gap Ned head, little 1/8 ouncer, just throwing it in and giving it a little pop here and there, real slow. Little bitty guy. He's finally something though. Little baby. So I'll start shallow, and then if it's not working out or I'm catching too small a fish, I'll move my way out deeper. Oh, there's a little bit better one. No, about the same size, never mind. Dink after dink. Another little guy. On a drop shot.
Oh, he came off.
Oh.
No, man. Should have gave him some more, maybe.
They aren't biting good.
I don't think I had a very good hook set on him. Yeah, he munched that.
So kind of at this point, I kind of figured out that the shallow bite wasn't really working out too well, and we were only catching real dinks or nothing at all. So I started to move out a little bit deeper and started fishing some banks that I know have some harder wood cover and stumps and stuff out in about 8 to 10 foot-ish, and have some grass. Yeah, get the net. This is a decent one. There you go. Well, he wanted that thing.
We're good.
There we go, guys. Finally got a decent one. Working hard for it today. There we go, though. Nice little chunk, by about a 3-pounder. Set him back. That thud. That thud. Another big tale is, too, a lot of these fish that we were catching were pretty light colored, which showed me that these fish had just kind of started to move up, so they weren't quite shallow yet. A lot of times when they first come up from the depths, they're a lot lighter in color and more whitish. Once they're up shallow for a little while, they get real green and more dark colored. Now we move to another area, and this area has more grass in the 5 to 10 foot range, so I wanted to key around and target that and some of the pockets that the grass makes. And right now I decided to switch up to a Texas rig. I just missed one. Look at that.
I'll say.
Had to bend down here and get a new Berkeley the Champ crawl and tie it on because unfortunately that one and only fish ripped my claws off. Yay. One nice fish and this champ crawl was destroyed.
They're like $2 a pop.
Basically. Got him. No. That was a better fish. So at this point now, after missing 2 fish in a row right here in pretty much the same spot, I'm wondering to myself, okay, now why did I miss both those fish? I'm using a not so big Texas rig. It's maybe a 3.5, 4-inch crawfish style bait, so it's not crazy big. And the second one especially felt like a substantially sized fish because I had him on for a minute. So that kind of tells me that they aren't eating it quite good. And a great way to combat that is to downsize your baits a little bit, go a little bit more finesse, use a little bit smaller bait, and they'll get more of that bait and hook in their mouth instead of missing it on a bigger Texas rig. That's a chunk.
That's a good fish.
It's a fatty.
That's a good fish. Yeah, he wasn't going anywhere. Probably one of the ones you missed.
Very well could be.
Okay. Back on the horse.
You got another.
Whoa.
Seems like a better one.
One's better. Yeah. That was it.
Let's see him once. Here, hold him up. Nice one. Chunky, chunky.
Not the cleanest of landings, but you know, I'll take it.
Here, hold him sideways once. Yeah, that's a fatty. He's probably pushing 3.
Full. Very full. Oh no, I don't have my scale on me. You know, I put my tubes in my bag today in the hopes of catching smallmouth.
Okay, Marty's out on.
Yeah.
There's one. There's one. This is a little chunk.
He's got a belly.
Yeah, he does. Got a big old head on him for his size. Look at that chunky little thing. It's got a freaking back. Look at that back on that thing.
Got some shoulders.
Yeah. There you go, fat little guy. We're pulling a bunch out of this little area. We're getting a bunch of bites. Yeah, 6 hookups and what, 3 fish? And I landed 1 now. Finally.
Well, it's 3 on the day for me, and they just keep getting bigger, so. We would have had a nice little limit, I think.
Yeah, there. That one that I lost on the crawl the second time, that one felt pretty nice.
That first one was probably a smaller fish that just grabbed the
Yeah, the back. Ripped it off. That second one, I think I just didn't get a good hook set into him because we were drifting towards him.
The first fish came running at me. I was kind of worried there for a second.
Yeah, that's what they all seem to have been doing. Like I just pick up on it and they're all of a sudden there. Solid, so I set the hook.
Upsetting.
It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
Well guys, we're at the portion of the video where I kind of break it down a little bit. Of course I broke down a good bit of what we did throughout the video, but all in all, Ryan caught all his fish on the tube. I caught mine on a shaky head worm and missed quite a few on a Berkeley, the Champ Crawl Texas rigged. But basically what we ended up figuring out by the end of the day, earlier in the morning we were fishing pretty shallow most of the time and only catching dinks and not getting too many bites. So that kind of told me that the fish weren't quite up shallow yet. So I moved out a little bit further, about to 6, 8, 10 foot instead of 5 to like a foot, it's a couple inches of water. I still kept using the same lures for the most part and still kind of kept it a little finesse, popping around that little shaky head Ned rig that I do. I'm not going to go over that Ned rig a whole lot because I've shown that a billion times. If you guys want to see it, I'll link one of those videos in the description of this video so you guys can check that out if you want. But I'm not going to go over that a ton because I've talked about it a lot and some of you are probably getting tired of seeing it. But I used that little shaky head Ned and was fishing out in the grass about 8 to 10 foot most of the time, and some of them were in 6 to 5-ish too, but for the most part you wanted to be around grass in anywhere from 5 to 10 foot basically, and the bigger fish were out in that deeper 8 to 10 foot range. All these fish were definitely not active, couldn't get anything on a moving bait like crankbait or chatterbait or spinnerbait or anything like that, so we slowed down big time and I was fishing finesse and dragging the Texas rig here and there, and Ryan was dragging around the tube. But all these fish were in the grass, and that's where all the bigger fish came from and where the more success came from. As you saw, we pulled into that one last spot and it was kind of just game over. We did miss quite a few. That's kind of normal for this time of year. Fish aren't really eating super good when they're pushing up to spawn. When they first pull up, they will, but once they've been up shallow for a little, it kind of gets into that spawn stage and they're not eating, they're more so working on doing their thing and trying to make beds and find areas to make beds and all that. So most of these fish weren't eating to eat. That's why we missed quite a few on the Texas rig with that little bit bigger style bait. They don't get all of it in their mouth quite, and then switching down to a little or smaller bait like that finesse bait, typically they'll get that whole thing in their mouth, so you get a better hook set on them. As you saw, pretty much caught all the ones that I had on with the Ned rig and lost every one that I had on with the Texas rig. But again, that's just something that happens this time of year quite often, and you're gonna either have to get used to it or try to do a couple things to deter that from happening, like I said. But that was pretty much all we did this day. And if you like this video, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Stay tuned for the next one and get entered into my giveaway. As soon as we hit 1,500 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway for a lure pack with 5 of my favorite baits. So hopefully they can come out there and help you catch some of these nice fish like we do. But stay tuned for the next one. We'll see you later, guys. Tight lines.